friends, I'm the vegan. A new dessert. Well, my dessert here is almost like a breakfast. It's very nutritious. It's with fruit and nuts and, well, and no seeds, no. Yeah, some. In the raspberries, always some seeds. And that's not unimportant. So, because of the blending, if you have a raspberry, here I have some frozen one that I thawed. There are always some seeds in the raspberries, and if I blend them, the seeds crack up, and they are a little bit coarse. That scratches in the mouth and the throat. So I don't like to blend raspberries. Yeah, there are some conditions under that circumstances then you can do that. You need other ingredients that catch, so to say, these coarse little seeds that you crack up when you blend it, like a banana or so, and cashews. But in general, I rather mash them with a fork or so, make a puree or with a date mousse or so. Today I put them into a cashew cream with vanilla. I come to that in a moment. That comes on top of the pudding. I make a persimmon pudding with tangerines. I have two very nice persimmons. Yeah, they're ripe and soft, and I can blend them into a pudding very nicely. Here, see these wonderful persimmons, two of them, and some tangerines. It's about the same amount. And when you blend only persimmon, you have a pudding, a thick texture. Sounds funny, but that is one of the amazing things with the persimmons. They blend into a pudding, actually. Even if they're almost runny, they can be even softer than that. They blend into a pudding. That is the fiber in the persimmon that creates this very interesting texture. And the fiber is also something that makes it very filling. Yeah, when you have a fiber-rich food that makes you full and is super healthy. So persimmons are a wonderful fruit because of this fiber and the many nutrients in it. So persimmens are very special to me, and all over the planet they are now very, very welcome everywhere. They come from South Asia, but now they're in South Africa, Latin America a lot. In Asia, of course, we don't have them that much, but more and more I explore these recipes. And if you blend them with a tangerine, that is the opposite, so to say. It gets very runny if you blend it. There is no pudding texture. Orange would be the opposite. Orange also makes a pudding texture. The pectin in the orange does that. Another fiber that is a thickener. It's used largely. But the tangerine doesn't seem to have that much. So if I blend the persimmon with the tangerine, I have a nice texture. Not too pudding-like and not too runny. And I will transform the texture a little bit with some dates. Yeah, that makes it firmer again. And it adds sweetness. Yeah, you 5-6 dates. That is very nice. You blend a persimmon with dates and it's beautiful. And I put a little bit of lemon and ginger to it. So I will add a little bit of flavor. Yeah, lemon and ginger. Not too much ginger, a little bit. And half a lemon only. Just to give it a little bit of kick. I have a nice texture between pudding and a little bit runnier, yeah, and adding flavor to that. So that's the idea. Here is my blender. I will dance away and see what happens to the pudding. That looks nice, as far as I can see. Yeah, it's a nice texture. The fragrance is there, this special flavor from the lemon and the ginger and the date that seems to be in there. And I like the texture. It's pretty much the way I wanted it. Let's taste it. Wow. I'm blown away. It's so wonderful. Here, I quickly show you what I have. It's a wonderful texture. You see this, yeah, a little bit creamy, pudding-like almost. Yeah, could be a little bit thicker, but I think it's nice to have this kind of texture. All I care for here is that I can layer it. I can put the raspberries on top, show you in a moment, together with the cashew cream. That's what I want. Yeah. So it's okay. It doesn't need to be thicker. But the flavor, I tell you, the flavor is wonderful. It's a little bit foamy. It's a wonderful texture. And it tastes really nice. Just a little bit sweet, a little bit sour, a little bit tangerine-like, a little bit this gentle sweetness from the persimmon. And the idea of ginger, wow, it's perfectly balanced. It's really nice. I like it. So I come back in a moment. I have to quickly cleanse the blender because I want to have a cashew cream. Yeah, I don't want to blend it in here to have a little bit of difference in color also with the pudding here. So come back in a moment with a clean blender and I show you how to make the cashew cream with the raspberries. That's one thing I like about raw food so much, that it is so easy to cleanse the tools here. The blender, I just wash it a little bit of water and dry a little bit. That's done. I don't need a lot of cleansing with the raw food. That's so easy. Cooking is a lot more work, so for many reasons. So my blender is ready, and I have a small cup, half a cup maybe of cashews. Just I want a little bit of cashew cream, yeah, and I have some dates for that to make it sweeter. So it's a cashew date cream. Especially I want to make a little bit more with dates. Since recently, I find my love for dates even more. Since I knew and have read that dates that are so high in sugar, yeah, even higher than a Coke. Yeah, you have more sugar in dates than in a Coke. And you compare the measurements and so more sugar there. And then the scientists wondered, hey, isn't that a little bit unhealthy to eat that much sugar in the dates? And I found the opposite. It's even healthy. You can eat every day. You can eat a handful of dates or two, and it will improve your health because of the phytonutrients in the dates. It's a wonderful plant. So don't shy away. And since I learned that, I love the dates as my favorite sweetener. And now I make more date mousses. This is a date mousse, one with cashews. It's a cashew cream with a little bit more date mousse, I would say. But I could be the other way around. But for the raspberries, it's a cashew cream with some more dates. And I have a small amount of even here vanilla powder, because the raspberries are one of my really great fruit. I love raspberries. They are heavenly to me. So wonderful, and they're very precious to me, and I want a little bit vanilla to there to give it a little bit more something exquisite. But you don't need vanilla here. You don't need to. You can just leave it away. It's very expensive. Just to make it a little bit more fancy, I put some vanilla in, but it's not necessary. So dates and cashews is perfect, and even cashews alone would be perfect. But dates make it a little bit nicer because the raspberries are a little bit sour, especially when they are frozen. A little bit sour, and the date make it nice. So a little bit of water to put into the vanilla cashew cream. I don't need too much of the water, just enough to make a nice cream. Blender dance number 2. Can you hear it? The sound is going up, and that means it's a little bit too little quantity volume in the blender. Yeah, that happens when you have too little. The blender begins to scream. And so if you put a little more water, that's very easy. I hope that's not too much now. Scraping down the sides a little bit. it's too much. Wait a second. I won't have too much water. Otherwise I have a too runny a cream. I want it a little creamier. So I took out some water again. Just a little bit water less. Yeah. More dense. So that sounds better, the sound is more even, and the texture looks also acceptable. Yeah, it's just as runny as I can afford. It would have been too much water, I was right, I guess, to take it out again. So not too much water, that's important. I will blend one more time. Blend one more time to make it, to break it down, the cashews a little bit more, to make it a little bit creamier. The second blending is good when you don't soak your nuts. It's also nice to have it a little bit warmer. The cashew cream is a little bit warm now, and the raspberries have been frozen. So it's nice to have a little bit of temperature around the thawed, still a little bit cool raspberries. It's a nice contrast, a little bit of temperature together with the raspberries. It looks very nice now, the cream. I want to taste it quickly. Oh, dream. It's a perfect combination. I'll show you. The raspberries with this cream are to die for. See, it's very easy. You see the color is so nice. I get out the rest with a scraper here. Also a good idea, if you get a new blender, you want to know, maybe, check the bottom of the blender. And this is a nice one because I have a large bottom of the blender, so I can put my tools into the blender, get the cream out. Sometimes you have a small bottom of the blender in another kind of blender, and then you can't easily get it out. You can get between the blades, and so it's not easy to scrape out the remnants, the last piece of cream, especially with nut creams. That's always a little bit of a pity if you have to waste so much. See, it's my cashew cream. And now these half-thawed raspberries, they go right in. Oops. Oh yeah. Good, good. That's what I wanted. It's so wonderful. Now they are a little bit thawed, and then they will lose some color into the cream, and that looks beautiful, like a beautiful texture profile. Here, the pudding has had a little bit shaped up. You see, now it's a little bit firmer. That's wonderful. It's exactly what I wanted. And quickly now, I'm done now. I just put it. Oh, you know, perfect texture, perfect. Put it into a glass. Yups. Oops. No. Very nice. Super delicious. Okay. And on top, the raspberries in the cashew cream. That's a dessert, and it could also at the same time be a breakfast. It's so nutritious. That's wonderful. And so much fun. It's very nice. I love it. Maybe you enjoy. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day. And find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter.